Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David, and happy August 8th, Lionsgate. Although I do record this on August 7th at 7 o'clock at night, this will be put up on August 8th. Lionsgate, a couple years ago, is when I put our dog Dex down. We had adopted Dex as a senior. I expect, he was reported to be about 14 years old, and I only expect him to live a few months. And we had him for about 20. And I think Dex probably had 20 of the best months of his life because I was his dad. Or, I'm sorry, I was his David. Apparently, according to the pet intuitive we used, he did not refer to me as dad, he referred to me as David because I treat him like an equal. In other words, I asked Dex his opinions on things. Dex, let's go on a walk. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to go up the street or down the street? That type of thing. You know, I suppose if we're going on a walk and you're following me and we're going this way. Hey, you know what? This is for you. You choose. Speaking of choosing, Brian Driscoll just goes to show that not all heroes wear capes. I've done a reading on him in the past, and this might be I'll see if I can find it. It'll be, and I'll link it in the description if I can find it. Brian Driscoll was the guy, the FBI agent who was accidentally named the acting director of the FBI. He had been an agent for about 15, 17 years or so. And following the 2024 presidential election, the Trump transition team asked Driscoll to serve as deputy director of the FBI under Robert Kissane as the acting director. However, following the inauguration of Trump in January 2025, Driscoll became the acting director of the FBI because the White House website incorrectly listed him as the acting director and Kissane as the deputy director. It was supposed to be the other way around. Kissane was supposed to be the acting and Driscoll was supposed to be the deputy. And instead of fixing the error, admitting they made a mistake and fixing the error, they just went with it. So Driscoll became the acting director of the FBI until Kash Patel got put in there. At the end of January 2025, God, this seems like a lifetime ago, as part of a planned mass termination of federal law enforcement officials under Trump, the FBI under Driscoll was ordered to fire 8 senior executives and compile a list of potentially thousands of other employees involved in the investigations with the January 6th insurrection. Driscoll said that such a list of employees included himself and the acting director, Kissane. And Emil Bove, the guy who just got a federal judgeship, was the one who gave the order. Driscoll refused to endorse the effort to purge agents and pushed back, quote, so forcefully that some FBI officials feared he'd be dismissed. Driscoll was lauded in a message widely circulated among the FBI personnel. So he became a hero within the FBI because this is just some random field service dude who was mistakenly put as the acting director, and when he was told to do something that he was morally or ethically opposed on, he said no. Trump fired him today. So, we've forgotten about Mr. Driscoll at this point, but we haven't. And I just want to read on the chapter of this guy's life. For a few months, he was the acting director of the FBI, and he was kind of like the everyman's director. The agents could relate. His nickname is Drizz. So let's look at the energy around Drizz as he was the acting director of the FBI due to an error by the Trump administration. I dropped the cards and I saw 2 cards, Wheel of Fortune and the Fool card. So talk about being handed a new opportunity that is probably a once in a lifetime. It would be interesting if this guy shows up again. So come on down. Let's see what we have about Brian Driscoll, the Drizz. All right, Foundation of the Reading is Queen of Pentacles. He loved working at the FBI, and that was his baby, and he took care of it. crossed with the Nine of Coins, and a job he was never supposed to have. You know, promoted way above his league. This is like the Lifetime movie where the farm girl marries the prince from Europe type thing, but had no idea he was the prince from Europe. Underneath it all is the Tower card. All good things come crashing down to an end. His rise to fame was meteoric, and he has now been taken down for it. Just goes to show you that the petty that Trump has knows no bounds. In the past, Seven of Swords. He got that position because of a mistake. Gave him a meteoric rise to lead the FBI. And the funny thing is this is just a shameless mistake that they refused to correct. Current situation. Eight of Wands. Messaging, moving things quickly. Lots of quick action being taken in here. You know, again, he became famous for standing up to Trump. Celebrated as a leader. Even though he didn't have the experience. And again, Temperance card. All good things come to an end. You know, he learned something about himself. In some ways also, I don't know how effective he was or was not. I couldn't begin to say that. But it's one of those links to what I had with the Democrats fighting fire with fire about the young guns coming in, the new guard coming in, and shaking things up. And, you know, leadership doesn't know an age. There are people who are natural born leaders. They just are. There's something about them that people recognize, and it resonates with them. What's his current mindset with the loss of his career with the FBI at this point? And that's just it, you know. Could have just said, all right, go back to being a field service agent somewhere and go do what you do. Oh, you think he's got his 20 years? Let's see. Does it say when he started? He joined the FBI in 2007. So he's probably on year 18. Okay. What's his current situation? Disappointment. I could have did so much more as the acting director of the FBI. You know, it's kind of like it's the minor death card. Thank you, Marianne, for sharing, of revealing Light Terror, for sharing that one. It's kind of like I did everything he asked me to. He had a career crossed with the Emperor, and he was put in a position he never should have been put in. That's not his fault. He did what he was told to do. He did the work. You asked him to do the work, he did the work. He was going to be a worker bee. He was going to do his job, do his 20 years. But he led and became a leader, and he got sacrificed for it. In the past, you got the Ten of Coins. I don't know if he came from a law enforcement family, but I think this was going to be his career. This was going to be his career. He was going to work for his 20 to 30 years or however long, get his pension, and just do stuff like that. Current situation is the Queen of Cups. You will not hear. It's not like he's going to go on the news circuit and speak out. He's going to sort of sit back and reflect and figure out what he's going to do next in his career. Overarching energy is the Six of Cups. I think he's going to get help. He's going to get help finding his next job. He's going to have some good references here. And I think it's because of his leadership, he may find himself in a job that he likes even better than what he was doing before. Okay, so he'll have passion with what he wants. The outcome is the Four of Cups, which, you know, I'm humming. It's like, you know, he's not real happy. But it could just be that he's going to get lots of offers, and now he needs to sort of sit and wait and figure out what his best offer is going to be. Okay. And just sort of spirit a little for Carter with Brian Driscoll. Anything else that you want to let us know about Brian Driscoll, former acting director of the FBI, in an accidental manner? When you talk about being a Jeopardy trivia quiz. All right. For Carter, what else can you tell us about Brian Driscoll for the audience here? Page of Cups. You know, when life gives you a stinky fish in a cup, you take it. He took the opportunity. He proved to himself he could do it. He probably did a pretty good job with it, even though it was hard work. But I think he's going to find a passion for it. And something new, something different that he has a passion for, that's going to take into account his leadership skills and his ability to work hard. I think he's going to be fine. And I think we will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.